everyone at YouTube here on the MPCOM Vlog channel, where we're testing out the latest studio gear, home studio equipment, and all other things you need, such as monitor screens, for example, for using in your home studio. Today we got something new here for you guys. So as we're normally testing out standard 5-inch speakers for home studios, we also had one former review from a MPCOM 3.5 system. So what is the difference if you go and compare a multimedia system which actually is more made, from podcasts, for gaming, PC and all that stuff, for smaller systems. Today we're talking about the 4.5-inch MAUDIO Bx4 system. And just to give you a short notice, actually MAUDIO, that's a well-known and renowned manufacturer for studio monitors, also headphones, interfaces. So actually they're specialized in those devices. So they're launched now, end of 2020, they launched now their first multimedia systems, because I guess it's a huge demand on the market for those all podcasters and home PC systems, gamers. So that's why they launched the Bx4 series, which is 4-inch size or 4.5-inch, and also the Bx3 system, which is then a bit smaller. So we're looking at this today. Before I unpack it and install it finally, I just already have here, one example of the Bx4. I'm going to show you this, guys, that you also can see, the size of the speakers, because that's always hard to get. If you're on the internet searching for speakers, you just see pictures and you don't have the right sizes. So here you see the front, which is actually a 4-inch tweeter here, low frequency tweeter, and you see the 1-inch high frequency tweeter. So that's overall the size. I hope you can see this. It's pretty handsome. I guess as I said, for mixing in a home studio, too small. We will see that later if you have some sound samples and show reels. If it just goes to gaming and podcasting, absolutely fine. So one important thing here at the back, guys, and you can compare this to home studio monitors, which are normally bi-amp and also powered as a sole system. Here we have an active and passive system. What means that for you guys? You can also see here on the front, one speaker, which actually is the left, you may also use it as the right one, is the amped active speaker, and then you have a passive connection with a connection cable, I will show you later, to the passive speaker. So if there's a sound quality difference, we will see later, and I'm going to show you this everything in this video. You see here also the bass reflex system here on the back for the low frequencies. So we're going to now install this for you guys, and we're doing some show reels looking how they sound, and I give you my experience comparing this also to the 5-inch Bx5, which I had in the studio for testing purposes, which is a great monitors. So overall here the quick notice and features about the Bx4. Both Bx4 and 3 comes with 120 power watts, which is more than enough. We will see that later. So this is kind of a sound machine. You have also, maybe that's important, high and low frequency trims at the back of the speakers. You can equalize and tune that finally up to your room demands. What is included also here is full accessibility. What means that you have TRS connections, you have RCA connections at the back. At the front, on the one speaker, you have this auxiliary connections here, where you directly can connect your smartphone, for example, with a cable, and you have here the power and volume control on the front with a LED display. Included in the package also is software, as always on MAUDIO, and that's really brilliant, guys. You have Pro Tools first, Ableton Live, and some added plugins included, which actually only comes with an interface if you purchase a DAW interface, so this is all included in these reference monitors. Yes, I would say now let's install it, guys. Listen to some sound and I'll give you my notice. Comparing and testing out, reviewing this monitor reference speakers from MAUDIO. Okay, give me 1 second, guys, and see you in a while. Thank you. Back here on YouTube, where I've just installed now the Bx4 reference monitors. First of all, let's have a look. Now in my studio, as you normally see here in my reviews, I'm working on those monitor stands on 5-inch. Now, interesting, where I just put in place the 4.5 inch speaker. Now, look at this. First of all, it looks a bit funny and curious. I mean, I don't know. If you see this, actually it's also not made for a kind of home studio speaker. So normally you put the speakers, of course, here on the desk somewhere where you're working and you're gaming or listening to music, whatever. I think it still looks a bit funny here with a 4.5 speaker with those monitor stands. Either way, we're now testing the sound of those speakers. I will give you some reviews and insights shortly here on the MAUDIO.com site. Let me show you this shortly, guys. You find all information about keys, interfaces, studio equipment they produce and manufacture. And here you see the Bx3 and Bx4 description and show reels on MAUDIO with those speakers. You can see here. So if you look at that, you don't know, did they take now the Bx4 or Bx3 speaker on the picture? And now I finally would say it's the Bx4, and that's maybe important if you compare the sizes of the speaker between Bx3 and Bx4. It's very important because the difference, you know, in the height is just about 2 centimeters, nearly 2 centimeters in the height. So that's not a huge difference. Either way, if I have clients or interested people, I always recommend go for the Bx4. I mean, it's just about $20 more. We're speaking here. The pair of Bx4 is around $130. Bx3 is about $110. So you see, it's just about $10 difference. So whenever you have the budget, go for the Bx4 in my eyes. At the end, power and watts totally is the same. Just that's important. It's both 120 watts. Okay, so that's the description, guys. See here a full series, available series Bx3, 4, 5 from MAUDIO, and then Bx8. So they have nothing in between, and they also have separate then a desktop speaker. That's the old series 8032. Guys, I'm now switching the camera because then the sound quality is a bit better if I place it here on the side. And that's here the monitors and reference speakers stand for you for a comparison. Okay, give me 1 second again, see you in a while. So back again here, guys. Let's go in there. Getting some music, comparing this from a listening perspective, guys. I just prepared one song here from Move Productions, from our label, with clear vocals and only some acoustics. So let's go for Snowflakes first, one of our releases. Starting slow, giving some volume, then let's start with this. Guys, I was now around 50% of power here. Now it's 75. Go back to 50%. Still, you know, you have a lot of power. 50 now.
sun came out, we both melted away. But our tears.
So guys, what can I say about the first listening here? Let me show you that. I mean, what can we say? Generally, from a power perspective, definitely enough for desktop speakers here. As you've seen, I was at the maximum of 75%, and already 50 was more than enough. I just walked around now shortly in my flattened room. Of course, it's a difference when I'm sitting here now in a perfect 60-degree angle, which is called the perfect sweet spot. It sounds different than in the room. So what is different from a sound perspective? Maybe that's very interesting for you guys. I was pretty used working with the Bx3, and definitely, you know, a Bx3 a pair costs maybe $200 US, and these one we're talking about the $130 US. So actually for the 70 bucks, it's a huge difference, guys. You cannot compare. So either for mixing and working professional, semi-professional in the studio, definitely go for the Bx3, and you don't need the Bx8 because the Bx8 already is a bit large then as a studio reference monitor. And for at home, working at home as a desktop multimedia speaker, Bx3 and 4 already is great. So generally, I mean, power is enough, guys. Actually, we're listening to it flat without any EQ. I tested it out. You can EQ and trim the high frequencies and the lows, but it's not really necessary, guys. And maybe it's a good question because you didn't see that before, so I can shortly switch to the speaker here where you see all the connections you have. RCA TRS, this is now the plug I have for the passive speaker, and here you have the trims. You know, you see it's flat. I tested it out, so it doesn't bring you big value. If you know, maybe you can reduce the bass a bit, and give a little bit more highs, but it's not necessarily needed. Power adaptation here. So I just push the system back, and then of course we can listen to another production. Overall, now sound quality, guys, you cannot compare it with Bx3, definitely not. So this sounds more a bit raw, thin from a sound. It's not a wide stereo image you have. It's proper sound. So, but most of all, the lack in my eyes compared to Bx3 is, you know, the whole the low frequency spectrum, the bass. It's not really saturated bass here. Mid some highs are okay, but it still sounds a bit rather flat. So that's, you know, compromises you have. Always if you buy a low budget product or, you know, standard studio product, all the same. So I would say now let's go, maybe this was an acoustic song. Let's see what I have here for you guys. So I'm just switching here and we're listening now from my mobile, just not over an interface, directly with the connection cable. Let's gonna search here another song, maybe, let me show you this. Yeah, I mean, we can try if this works out, guys. Let me check. I'm searching here, you know, something indie with more bass. And important, if I show you this, guys, on internet, it's important that I do not show you any copyrighted track, because instead my video then is, you know, shut down, and that's not actually the intention. I need to go. Let's go for this, guys. This is a great song. We're now listening to Chasing Alice, indie band, rock band from Australia. 50%. Okay. Different production. Now it's more bass. I mean, here bass is better. But here I can feel what I can hear, you know, mids are okay, but high is not that clear. So now, if I'm switching my head of the position, the listening position, it's already a big difference. You know, it's just about a few centimeters or inches higher or lower. So normally, you know, in an acoustic way, you always speak about the high frequency tweeter should always be at the height of your ears. So and that makes a big difference if you're listening like that, or a bit lower here, where you can hear more bass definitely. Either way, if you have it on the desk, guys, then you either don't have the perfect listening position. So this sounds much more better in my ears. So guys, I mean, that was it actually. Let me know if you need anything else to check out here. Well, I think now we had 2 productions, maybe and one more shortly, but I think this is now rather clear how it sounds. So definitely good quality material on the speaker. Let me check, you know, now I'm working on my smartphone, and that's not actually the best to show you guys. Playlist, where is that? What I'm looking for? Yeah, you know, normally it always happens like this. Let's go for that, guys. Always here, or also here. And if you compare this, it depends on the music you're listening. This is now more piano and acoustic production, sounds very clear. On the indie now you had much more bass, and there you hear the mids more, bass and mids, which are quite dominant then in other productions like bass oriented, low frequency oriented productions. But the acoustics one sound very nice and clear. So, you know, as I told you, you can trim it, guys, whenever you need that for working at home. So I stop it now, the music, because then it's irritating maybe a little bit. So I think, yeah, what to say else? I mean, it's full flexible system, the speakers, as I told you, from the accessibility. For a great value of price, 130 bucks, guys, a pair of speakers at home, working at home. I think very, very valuable speakers also here from MAUDIO. And whenever I have time, of course, we will do some new reviews with other speakers and material, guys. So that was it from today from the MAUDIO Bx4 multimedia reference speaker. I hope this was again valuable for you guys. Please check out all the videos on YouTube where we're testing out the latest gear, mics, interfaces, keyboards, screens, everything you need working at home in a home studio. And we have some other academy trainings, songwriting essentials. We have releases from a label, moveproductions.com, the latest releases. So go there to YouTube. We're always happy if you give us a comment, and people are reacting. That's really something we appreciate here. So everything is growing on YouTube more or less. That's very, very nice. See some of the latest comments here, and I give answers. People asking me, what should I do? What should I buy? you know, see here a lot of thumbs up, hearts and likes. Awesome guys, I like this. So if you have questions, drop me email, drop me here a question on YouTube, and I will give you a response as soon as I can. Yes guys, that was it. Sunday I'm working at home here in the studio. So I hope you have some more time than me here on the weekend. Well, that's awesome, still like it. And also next week new gear is arriving here, so there's still a lot to do for me with those reviews guys. But I'd like to help you, giving you my experience here, working with material in the studio and recording at home. Yes guys, thank you very much for watching. See you hopefully next time. Keep safe. Bye bye. Thank you.